Hi, welcome back to Maths Masters. This is session 7 in the addition series, and we are going to look at adding multiples of 10 today. So I'm going to show you some concrete ways of doing that, some pictorial and how to go into the abstract. Multiples means the product of a given number with another factor. So it's the answer in a times table, and we're looking at the 10 times table. So when 10 is multiplied by another number, that is called a multiple of 10. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, keep going like that. Those are all multiples of 10. So they're answers in the 10 times table if we're finding multiples of 10. So the first things that we can use, if we're looking at doing a multiplication such as 20 add 10, we can use a bead string. Now if you haven't got a bead string, you can use the Reckon Rec that's online. So what I can do with that is that I can think, I've got 10 and 10, so I've got 20. So 20, add 10, if I add another 10, I can see now I've got 3 10s, I've got 30. So I can subitize if I know that 10, 10 and 10 makes 30. Or I can use my related facts to help me here. I know I've got 1 and 2 10s, and a third 10 will make 3 10s, which is the same as 30. Okay. The second thing we can use are tens frames. Now here I've got 20 and 10. So I can see I've got 10, 20 and 10 more is 30. So I can add using the tens frames. The only problem with the tens frames is that if we go on to bigger numbers, such as say if we want to do 60 add 30, then we'd have to use lots of tens frames. It'd be quite fiddly and quite time consuming. So it's not the most efficient way of doing it. What you can do is, rather than seeing the tens frames as representing 10 each time, you can use the tens frame and have it representing 100. So if the whole now is 100, what would each square in the tens frame be worth? Pause me and have a think about that one. Okay, so I hope you had a think about that. So each of these squares will be worth 10. And if we see these as worth 10, now we can do our calculation much more easily. We can put 2 tens counters, which is 20, add another 10, so now we've got 30. And I can subitize and see there is 30 there, because I've got 3 10s. And this works in the same way here, 2 10s and a 10 there, so we can see the difference between them both there. Another way of doing this is to use Numicon. Now this is something that you don't necessarily have at home, but it's something that is used in school. So we could use a 2, which the 2 would represent 20 if we see each one as meaning 10, and 1 would represent 10. So we've got 20 and 10 that makes 30 there as well. Now this helps us to see, using the tens frames, using the Numicon and using the counters, how we can use our related facts. Because 2 add 1 is equal to 3, so we know then 2 and 1 is equal to 3, but 20 add 10 is equal to 30. So we can use those related facts, those numbers getting 10 times bigger each time, to help us. The other thing that we can use is base 10. So what we can do is, we can see we've got 10 and 20, add another 10 is 30. And if we see this as a number line, we've got 10 goes to 20, add another 10, and we've got 30. We can see this as well using the 1 counters, using our related facts. So if I have 2, add 1, it is equal to 3. So 2 add 1 is equal to 3, the same as 20 add 10 is equal to 30. So that's using those facts to help us, using those number bonds to help us. So what we can do here is we'll have a go at another one, and we'll look at using the tens frame and also base 10 counters to help us. So if we want to find out what 20 and 60 makes altogether, what can we do to help us? Pause it and have a think about that. Okay, so one of the things I hope you did was think about related facts. So if we've got 20 add 60, we can think of it as 2 and 6. So we know our number bonds. We've already been practicing number bonds to numbers up to 10. So 2 add 6, 6 add 2 is equal to 8. So that tells us then that 20 add 60 is equal to 80. And we can use a number line if we like to test this out. We can count them as well. So if I had my base 10, which they won't fit on this board here, but if I was going along, I could have 10, 20, and then add on 10s, add on another 10, another 10, third 10, 4, 5 and 6 tens, and then see where I've got to at the end of that, which is to 80. Right, so now think about using related facts. You can use counters or you can use base 10. You can use the tens frame. In the resource section, in the description section, in the Introduction to Maths Masters, you will find tens counters that you can use, and you will also find some base 10 that you can use and cut out. So I want you to have a go at doing the calculation 60 add 30. Using your, I don't want you to count on in tens, I want you to use your related facts, your knowledge of number bonds, and you can use a tens frame to help you, or you can use base 10. So pause it and have a go at that. Okay, so you could have got 6 and 3 by using 6 counters or base 10 cubes. 6 and 3, 6 and 3 more is 9. And then you can use that knowledge to think, okay, well if 6 and 3 is 9, I know that knowledge of my tens and unit, tens and ones, that 9, 10 times bigger is going to be 90. Because 6 we're making it 10 times bigger into 60. 3 we're making 10 times bigger to become 30. So the 9 is going to become 90. You could use base 10 to see this. I've got 30 here. Turn it around. We'll have 60 here. Add 30 is equal to 90. You could also have a look at it using a tens frame as well. Having, you've got 60, so you can place 60 using 6 counters, and then add 30 on. Using 3 tens counters, and then you can see you've got 90. So 6 10 counters and 3 10 counters makes 9 10 counters. So 6 tens and 3 tens makes 90 as well. Okay, so you can also use this method to find all the number bonds that go together to make 100. Number bonds are pairs of numbers, so two numbers that add together to make another number. And it's useful to be able to know your number bonds to 100. This is why knowing your number bonds to 10 is really important, because it helps you then much later on when you're working with bigger numbers. So let's have a go at using that together. So we want to make 100. What two numbers can go together to make 100? So let's have 90 add something is equal to 100. So we can work that out using, we can use base 10, we can use the ones. So we've got 90, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we can make the 90 10 times smaller and it becomes 9. And what do we need to add on to it to make 10? So we can add one more onto there and that will make 10. So then we know 9 add 1 is equal to 10. So then that should help us to know with related facts that 90, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 90 and 10 is equal to 100. Okay, we can also use the number bonds. We can use our 100 frame. Now you might want to use counters of different colours. You can use the 10 counters or you can use 2 different colour counters to help you to visually see the number bonds. So if I have 90 already and I add another 10 counter, I can see that 90 and 10 is equal to 100. Now it's your turn to have a go. We want to make 100 using the number bonds, a pair of numbers that add together. And the first one we have is 80. What do we add to 80 to make 100? Try and use your ones or your tens frame working as a 100 frame to help you with that. Okay, so you had 80, so we can have 8 tens is 80. And what do we add to that? Well, we add 2 more tens. And 2 tens is the same as 20. So 80 add 20 is equal to 100. But our knowledge of seeing 8 add 2 is equal to 10 will help us to see the number bonds that go together to make 100 because we're using our multiples of 10. Now try these. So, if finding 2 numbers, multiples of 10 that go together to make 60. I know that 2 and something is equal to 6. How can I use that to make the number that goes up to 60? Have a go at that one. Okay, so 2 and 4 is equal to 6, so that means 20 and 40 is equal to 60. And we can see that here. So we've got 2 and 4 is equal to 6, so 20 and 40 is equal to 60. have a go at these ones then now. Use the counters and find related facts by using the tens, or you can use the tens frame and use it also as a 100 frame as well. Okay, pause that and have a go at that one. Okay, so you can see here that 3 and 5 is equal to 8. So if we have 3 and 5, we can see that's equal to 8. So that means that 30 and 50 is equal to 80. Again, we can see it on our tens frame. 3, if we see these as ones, 3 and 5 is equal to 8. So 30 and 50 is equal to 80. All right, have a go at this one. You can draw part whole models to help you, or just write them out as number sentences. Pause it and off you go. Okay, so 7 is made up of 4 and something else. So knowing our number bonds, 4 and 3 makes 7. So that means that 40 and 30 would make 70. We can also use our knowledge of number bonds and related facts to help us to find missing parts, so missing parts of number sentences when we're adding using multiples of 10. So if we have 60 add something is equal to 80, we can use our knowledge of 6 add something is equal to 8. So how do we get to 8? Well, I know my number bonds to 8, so I know instantly what goes with that. But if you didn't, you could have 6 ones add 2 ones would make 8. So that means if you see these now as 60, as tens, 60 add 20 is equal to 80. You have a go now. Try these ones. Okay, pause it and have a go at those. Okay, so 5 is equal to what? So we've got 5 there, and we've got 3 and 2. So 5 is equal to 3 and 2. So if we know that 5 is equal to 3 and 2, we can know that 50 is equal to 30 and 20. So we've got 50 and it's equal to 30 and 20. Same here, 10 is equal to 5 and 5. So we know then if 10 is equal to 5 and 5, that 100 is equal to 50 and 50. And if we look at that on a tens frame, if we see the counters as 5 ones and 5 ones, then if we use it as a 100 frame, 50 and 50 is equal to 100. You can also work these out these missing number sentences using the bar model, which we practiced in the last session. So if we had 70 is equal to something and 40, we could have our bar. We know that it makes 70 and it's 40. I know that 40 is more than half of 70, so I'm going to have a continuous bar. I've got 40 here. What goes with 40 to make 70? And this helps me to work out what I need to do with the numbers to work it out. So I can think, okay, I've got to get up to 70, so I can count on this bit. This is how much more I need to get to 70. So I could use a number line, or I could use my related facts. So 4 and something is equal to 7. I know that 4 and 3 is equal to 7, so 40 and 30 is equal to 70. You have a try. Have a go using the bar model for this one. Pause it and off you go. Okay, so this time we know the total, what we've got is 100, and we know that 10 and something makes 100. Well, 10, the other number that goes with it is going to be quite big. So I'm going to put 10 there, and this is my question mark. I'm going to use related facts. So then if I use related facts, make it 10 times smaller to be 10. That means 1 and something makes 10. Well, I know my number bonds to 10. 1 and 9 makes 10. So then I know that 10 and 90 is equal to 100. Now you can sometimes see these as pyramids, sort of getting bigger as they go down. So 1 and 9 is equal to 10. So 10 and 90 is equal to 100. And then you can also use that to go into bigger numbers. 100 and 900 is equal to 1000. So that's why knowing these number bonds is really useful for when you get on to the bigger numbers. Have a go now at making a pyramid of numbers using those related facts for this one. So I'm going to put in hundreds, tens and ones. I'm going to use my counters. I've got 3 here, this is the problem. 3 and 4 is equal to 7. Build this up now using tens. So have a think, what would that be if we had 3 tens and 4 tens? And what would it be if we had 300 and 400? Have a go at that one. Okay, so we've got 3 ones and 4 ones is equal to 7. So then, if 3 ones, if we use these as ones, three ones and 4 ones is equal to 7. 3 tens and 4 tens, so 30 and 40 is equal to 70. So if we see this as a 100 frame, 3 tens and 4 tens is equal to 70. But also we can see 300 and 400 is equal to 700. And now we could use this as a hundreds frame. We can make these hundreds. So if we've got 300 and 400 makes 700 altogether. Okay, in the description section there is some activities that you can do using multiples, so adding using multiples of 10. They're going to go from a challenge from A, B and C. Use the tens frame, but use it as a 100 frame. Use base 10, use beads or the rec and rec, and use the counters to help you as well. I'll see you back in the next session, session 8 for addition. Thank you, bye.